So, after days of speculation and hype, it is now being confirmed. Dinosaur Total War is coming 2017! Yes! Get in there, Sonny Jim! Oh, no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No. Well, it kind of is, actually, isn't it, if you think about it? You know, there's dinosaurs, there's lizard men, it's kind of there, but obviously not in its entirety. What has been confirmed fully today, obviously, though, is Total War Warhammer 2. I'm not surprised, I'm not disappointed, I knew it was on the cards. You know, I built myself up to expect this to be the case. You know, I pretty much speculated everything that I knew was going to happen today in my video yesterday, so pretty much everything I said has turned out to be true. And I think the majority of the people in the community realised that this was going to be the case as well today. I mean, I give credit to the few hopeful people out there, the few optimistic people that thought, I should say, that this was going to be an historical Total War announcement. Unfortunately not, no. But their ideas, some people's ideas were pretty good actually. You know, there's some people mentioned like conquistadors and Aztecs, from what we saw in the background there of the countdown video. And to be honest with you, that would be a very good historical Total War to go down at one point possibly. You know, that element of Medieval 2 is fantastic. The New World is really good. So to have an historical title, like a mini historical title in that area, in that time period, would be very good actually. So you know, you never know. Down the line, that possibly may happen. But for the moment, yes, Total War Warhammer 2 is coming. As I say, I'm not disappointed. I'm not surprised. I knew it was going to happen today. I mean, there was too much there to say it was anything but Total War Warhammer 2, to be honest with you. And an historical title is going to come eventually, guys. There's no doubt about it. We know Total War is built on historical titles and people want to see that back in the franchise. But we knew Warhammer was going to be a 3-part trilogy. And it was eventually going to happen. Sooner rather than later, that Warhammer 2 was coming. I mean, I've spoken to people at Creative Assembly about, you know, their future plans and what they propose. And trust me, guys, just hang fire, be patient, it is coming back. There is going to be more historical titles down the line, some fantastic historical titles I'm sure down the line. I don't know what they are, but I know they are working hard on them now, so you know, just hang on there, we'll get there. And to be honest with you, this looks, in my opinion, terrific. I was really impressed by the trailer. You know, you can't take that away from Creative Assembly. No matter what they do, no matter what games they produce, no matter what happens, their trailers, I know it's not obviously everything, but the trailers are always absolutely fucking amazing. I love them, and this was no different. It was really good quality, build up the hype, build up the atmosphere of what we're going to be expecting from this game, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So let's quickly have a look at the trailer very quickly. Obviously you saw it before, I showed it to you at the beginning of the video. I'm going to break down very quickly a few segments that caught my eye, and then we'll go into the nitty gritty part of it where I can talk to you about features and sort of questions that people have asked already in the forums, and we can get some answers, some clarification on them already, some quite important and big features that have come out already from Creative Assembly. So I like, firstly, the High Elves. I said to you yesterday, the High Elves, the Dark Elves, they are my kind of factions. They look terrific, and particularly the High Elves, I love their defensive units they've got, those strong shields, those large shields they've got, the spears. They seem to have units that will play into my sort of playstyle quite nicely. I think I would favour them if I was going to be doing a campaign, particularly the High Elves, I think, more so than the Dark Elves. So yeah, I think, you know, even in fact, am I going to do a campaign? Obviously I'm going to do a campaign. I think they would be sort of the faction I'd probably go down actually. So yeah, the High Elves, definitely my cup of tea. And also noticed on the trailer as well, the High Elves at one point formed a very nice defensive formation. Hopefully that will be something you can actually implement and switch on the game with certain units, because it kind of reminded me of sort of a Roman defensive formation. So yeah, I quite like that. So if you're going to go ultra defense on a battle, that sort of formation would fit nicely actually. So yeah, I thought that was quite neat. If it's just for the trailer, that's fair enough, but hopefully it could be something we'll see on the actual game itself. So from what we can see as well in the trailer, this gateway, this key, is in the jungle lands of Lustria. So it looks like maybe This is, you know, the lizard men are trying to hold on to this key desperately to try and stop everyone else from getting to it, or it's a race to get to it in some way. It looks like that could be the case from one of the features that have been mentioned, which again I'll talk to you in a bit. But yeah, it's interesting to see if they are, you know, the lizard men are obviously aware of this key that's been there, and they're all trying to get to it, but the lizard men are trying to hold everyone back or something, I don't know, but it looks like it's situated in their lands. So we had confirmed as well 3 of the legendary lords that are going to be in the game. We've got Prince Tyrion, defender of Ulthuan, guides the High Elves. He is the one legendary lord for the High Elves. I think there's 2 per race, possibly. But yes, Prince Tyrion is one of them, looking magnificent in his armour there. Again, the appearance of the Dark Elves and the High Elves is exceptional. This guy, probably not the best in appearance, so this sort of Jabba the Hutt character. This gentleman, or this monster, is called Slan the Mage Priest, or Slan Mage Priest, Maz Demundai, and he commands and directs the lizard men from his Pelican throne. And then we have got, and I thought this would be the case, I think you can't really go without this guy if you're going to be playing the Dark Elves. Malekith is the legendary lord for the Dark Elves, the Witch King Malekith, so he looks absolutely amazing as well. His sort of ornate armour is very grand indeed, so that was nice to see. But something that no one's mentioned already, because obviously you can imagine every YouTuber under the fucking sun is covering this trailer, and do you blame them? No. But something that caught my eye: free for all. Now I know this is probably a big ask, but you saw at the end of the trailer there, didn't you? All those 3 armies, the Dark Elves, the Lizard Men, and the High Elves, were coming together, weren't they? Probably to have one massive battle. Massive battle! 20,000 men, massive battle! All coming together to have a massive battle, and none of them were allied to each other. So is that dropping a hint? Probably a big ask. I doubt it's going to be the case, because it's not been in Total Wars for a while now. But could free-for-alls be coming back to Total War? Ooh, big ask, because it looked like it was a 3-way battle that did there. It did look like a 3-way battle. I don't know, but there you go. And then at the end of the trailer we saw the sort of world level cataclysmic sort of look at things that's happening in the world there. That leads to one of the big features of this game, the grand epic campaign map that's coming, but again I'll talk to you about that in a second. And I like the little tease in the end, the little tease at the end of the trailer there. We all know he's going to be Skaven. We saw the rat there. That's what it's implying. Skaven are going to be the 4th playable faction in this campaign. It's a little marketing trick. They're going to be a bit like, I think, Chaos, aren't they? Where they'll try and show us now all about the Dark Elves, all about the Lizard Men and the High Elves, and then they'll wait until about a month or so before the launch of the game, and then do a massive relaunch of the game with Skaven, etc. You know what I mean? It's happened before with Chaos, as I said to you, and it'll happen again, no doubt, with Warhammer 2. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, and at the very end there, the date, 2017. A lot of people are shocked by that. Why? I'm not shocked by that in any shape or form. Do you remember Attila? Attila came out in February of 2015. It was announced, if you remember, on September of 2014. It's the first event I ever went to as a YouTuber. He announced it in September 2014. 5 months later, February 2015, it was released. What's the difference here? I guarantee you, I put my money on it now, and you can hold me to this down the line, September 2017 will be the launch date of Total War Warhammer 2. Boom. Guarantee it. I just know it. It'll just be the case. 5 months development. You'll see a gameplay of this. You'll be seeing gameplay of this very, very soon indeed. I can tell you that now. Right, anyway, that is the trailer. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty stuff. Let's talk about the meaty stuff that has been confirmed to us today. So, it's mentioned here. I'll link this down below in the description. Sort of a Q&A post that's being released to us. So what has been confirmed already, and this is good for me, and it's hopefully good for you guys to enjoy, is the fact that, as with previous games, the press, YouTubers and members of the community will all have access to the game before launch to give you their impressions too. So hopefully, like with Warhammer, I think they were pretty good with this, They were as transparent as possible, and they're going to be exactly the same with Warhammer 2. The days of Rome 2 have long gone with Creative Assembly and Total War. They are going to be as upcoming, or as upfront I should say, as they possibly can be. So yes, hopefully for me I will get access to it early, either being able to play it early at an event possibly, but getting access to it early to be able to showcase it to you guys would be very good indeed. So yeah, looking forward to that. And as it says here, the game, what is Total War Warhammer 2? Well, if you don't know, then what the hell are you doing? The second in the trilogy and sequel to the award-winning Total War Warhammer. Total War Warhammer 2 brings players a breathtaking new narrative campaign, yeah, given, set across the vast continents of Lustria, Ulthuan, Naggaroth, and the Southlands. Now, that's pretty good. I'll tell you why. Lustria, lizard men, we know that. We've got Ulthuan as the High Elves, we've got Naggaroth as the Dark Elves, and then the Southlands. This is where Skaven are going to come into it. Skaven are guaranteed. They're going to be in the Southlands. However, what it also means is, right, that this is good for a DLC opportunity. Oh, we don't know DLC. Shit, we don't pay DLC, we know that. But what it gives to us is a possibility of Tomb Kings. Factions like that. They are based down there, I believe. So yeah, Tomb Kings could be coming to Total War Warhammer 2. A bit like the Beastmen were revealed and like the Wood Elves were revealed. They weren't there at the start, but they then appeared later on. So, that's good. The Great Vortex campaign builds pace to culminate in a definitive and climactic endgame, an experience unlike any other Total War title to date. And I'll tell you why in a second. So how many races and lords can we expect? Well, there are going to be 4 playable races. We've kind of gathered that already. And as I said to you before, 2 legendary lords per race. So we've seen 3 of them so far. So a total of 8 are going to happen, and it also says here a total of 8 individual start positions. Nice, great stuff. We didn't have that at the start, did we, in Warhammer 1 if you remember, but we're going to have that in the start of Warhammer 2. High Elves, Dark Elves, Lizard Men, and a 4th race yet to be revealed. Well, you kind of revealed it in the end there, didn't you? It was the bloody Skaven, so we know that. Each race is unique. We know that. We've seen that definitely in Warhammer 1. You can't take away that from Warhammer 1. Very unique playstyles for all the races involved. They feel very different to play. Each has unique and iconic battlefield units, characters, monsters, war machines, and tactical strengths on the battlefield. Great. I mean, I can't wait to see the dinosaurs for the Lizard Men. I said to that yesterday. Very good indeed. Gemma's showing me an iron she just bought. Fantastic. Right. So, in campaign, each has its own suite of unique campaign mechanics built around its backstory and lore in Warhammer Fantasy Battles. In short, each race offers a very distinct way to play. No doubt about it, that will be the case. Yeah, that's fine. I can be happy with that. Okay, so this Vortex, this was a big thing in the trailer, and it's a big thing within the game. The Great Vortex is a vast magical maelstrom that roils above the Island of the Dead in the centre of Ulthuan, home continent of the High Elves. The Vortex was forged in a past age by a convocation of High Elf mages to drain the winds of magic from the world and blast a huge demonic invasion back to the realm of chaos from whence it came. We cast it back into fire. It is a prominent part of the Warhammer Fantasy Battle world, a unique feature of the Total War Warhammer 2 campaign map, and lies at the heart of the main campaign. Right, big stuff. Yeah, like it. Why is it big though for the game? And that's because this is the race to the Vortex. Every single faction has got some agenda with this Vortex. Okay. What it says here, it caused the Vortex to become dangerously unstable. Let's see, as the twin-tailed comet of Satek made its recent journey across the skies, it caused the Vortex to become dangerously unstable. Each of the 4 races has its own objective regarding this. Some wish to heal the Great Vortex, which is probably the High Elves, and prevent calamity. Others see an opportunity in disrupting it, the Dark Elves. That said, no 2 races have precisely the same objective, and they'll need to accomplish them in their own way. So no matter who you play as, the end game, the end objective is something to do with the Vortex and what your faction wants to do with it, or wants to deal with it. The campaign is therefore a race for control of the Vortex, culminating in a cataclysmic series of endgame events. This is the first Total War game, this is good, this is, where the AI can actually beat you to the end game objective. So it may be that, you know, it's not a case anymore of you win the battle, so you win the campaign by taking everyone down or losing everything and losing the campaign. You could lose it because the AI are quicker than you. So it's a race against time in a lot of ways. But it does say as well here, but the race for the Vortex isn't the be all and end all. You still have to build and manage your empire, treat with and betray your allies. You research technology, develop settlements, you know, all the details we've seen before in Total War. So it's not all about the end game, about the race to get there, but it is a big part of it. It says here you still need to further your aims, but there will be also a greater focus on confounding and supporting the other races in there. So nice, it seems different, it's going to offer us something different. How it's going to play out, we'll find out obviously as time goes on, but I don't want it to be all a big race, and we know that the AI can cheat their way to victory a lot of the time, so I don't want to see that being too much in their favour in this game. I want to still see the core of Total War there. Will what's it be in this or not? Regional occupation. Will regional occupation be in this or not? Interesting. I don't know if it will be. We'll see though. Anyway, how big is the Total Warhammer campaign map, the Warhammer 2 campaign map? The Vortex campaign map is roughly the same physical size as the first game, though there are approximately a third more conquerable lands or regions in Warhammer 2 campaign than there was in Warhammer 1. These are spread across 4 continents separated by perilous seas, so more to conquer, always good. Then that does then lend to the fact that maybe it's not going to be regional occupation. I don't know, maybe I'm just reading too much into that, but it looks like there's going to be more to conquer, more to converse across in terms of landmass, separated by perilous seas as well. So if that's the case, if seas are quite a big part of this campaign map, what are naval battles going to be like in this? What will they offer? Well, I'll talk to you about that in a bit. There's not going to be naval battles, but there is going to be naval aspects to this campaign, more so obviously than there was with the first Warhammer. So what other features can we expect? Well, there's a host of new gameplay features, some of which are tied to the specific narrative of the Vortex campaign, and some which will apply to the huge combined campaign, which I'll talk to you about in a second. We'll be detailing all of these over the coming months. Right. Yeah, big one here. I mentioned it yesterday. Will the campaign map combine together with the first campaign map? And I said to you, yes, it probably will, but it will come out after the game has been launched. And bingo! I was correct. It doesn't take a genius to work that out. I'm not trying to big myself up here. No, I'm not. Trust me. But yeah, it's true. It is going to be the case. And it's not going to be too long to wait either, from what I can see here. So, do you need to... Quickly, let me quickly say this to you. Do you need to own the original game to play Total War Warhammer 2? No, you don't need to have the first game in the trilogy in order to play Warhammer 2. However, if you do own the first game as well as Warhammer 2, you'll also be able to choose to play on a huge new campaign or combined campaign map. So owners of both games will have 3 large and different campaign maps to choose from. And then obviously when Warhammer 3 comes out, it will be absolutely gigantic in size, because all 3 of them will combine together at that point, all 3 games. So it goes on about here, mentioning that, the trilogy. What do I get if I own both Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2? If you own both games, you'll get 3 huge campaign maps. The original one featuring the old world, a new one featuring the new world and the Vortex, and a combined campaign map featuring both of those areas joined together. So you can play them individually, you can play one and not own the other, or you can have both. Play each individually, as I say, or have them both together. If you own any DLC or free DLC for Warhammer 1, like Chaos Warriors, Wood Elves, etc., you'll also still have access to their unique narrative campaigns, of course, as well. So everything combines together. Very nice. We'll be able to play as those races in both the old world campaign and the new combined campaign. So this will offer really pretty awesome storylines. I mean, you can take the vampire counts to the new world of Lustria, take the Empire to lands of Ulthuan and places like that. It'll be fantastic. It's going to be really good in that regard. Nice, I like that. And there's other things that they've combined together, which I'll talk about as well. So it says here as well, as I said to you a second ago, it confirms it. For owners of both Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2, the first sort of launch of content after the game, this will be free, is going to be these vast combined campaign maps. So it says here as well, this will be shortly after launch, weeks not months. So there's going to be a short wait here, thankfully, and it'll be our very first content release. So no DLC, it'll be bang, free DLC, the combined maps to start with. It says here, while you can combine the two maps right at launch, it said the Vortex campaign with its dedicated narrative, unique features, mechanics and flavour is a big project in its own right. Fair enough. The combined campaign will be truly vast. Each requires significant playtesting and balancing. This is being the most complex Total War campaign we have released to date. And I did say this to you yesterday, they've never done this before. This is the first time we're going to see this sort of feature in a Total War game. We'd like to plan a short period, this is good, of open beta testing just before we release it, so that's be good. We get our hands on it early on. This requires Warhammer 2 to be out and for players to be familiar with all the new races and features before we do that. Okay, fair enough, I get it, so that's fine. How will the third game add to this? Well, we don't know yet. That will be announced in due course, as it says here. And the other bits and bobs it says to you at the very end of the article, is naval combat happening? As I said to you early on, obviously seas do play a big part in the campaign map this time. So what are naval combats going to be like? They're going to be auto-resolves like they were in previous Total Wars before Empire. But Warhammer Fantasy Battles is principally about land battles. Yeah, fair enough. So we're choosing to focus our efforts in terms of full battle simulation. And there are design setbacks could be there as well in that regard. You know, they can't do both all the depth and work you have to do in the land battles and campaign maps and still be able to develop sea battles and things like that. It'll take a lot of development time, probably. That's one of the answers there. But what is said here is there are some new related campaign features that we will detail in the future. So there's going to be an element of campaign sea battles of some sort. What will be the case there, we don't know fully, but it's going to be auto-resolve at least. Multiplayer is going to be roughly the same. Not much more invested in that, unfortunately, which would be a shame, actually. It's such a shame because there's so much potential in multiplayer battles in Warhammer. They could add a lot more to it. There's so much more potential in multiplayer battles across Total War in general, to be honest with you. Let's be honest here. And also, it's not mentioned here about sieges. Where Siege is going to go with this game. Are we going to have a little bit more open freedom with sieges, or is it going to be still a little bit linear like it was in Warhammer 1? I hope to God it's not. That's a big thing for me, what sieges in Warhammer 1. I want improvements in that regard, but we'll see. So yeah, back to multiplayer. Each of the races in Total War Warhammer 2 will be playable in single and multiplayer campaigns, plus custom and multiplayer battles. Yeah, that's fine. As the two legendary lords for each race have all their own unique campaign start positions, we'll be able to play a two-player co-op campaign the same race. That's good. That's very good. I like that. Co-op campaigns with the same race. Very good. So if you own both Warhammer Parts 1 and 2, you'll be able to play in a multiplayer as any of the races you own. Excellent. So imagine a massive campaign, epic, campaign map. Co-op, it'd be, or versus, it'd be fantastic. Though versus will probably take a long time. Even co-op would actually. So that's that. What I have obviously seen as well, it's been confirmed that multiplayer battles will be able to be against anyone. So you could have lizardmen versus vampire country. You could have empire versus high elves. It's got to be there, no matter what. So it'll be open to every single faction across the board with multiplayer battles. Will there be early adopter bonuses and collected editions? Will they be announced down the line? No doubt. And when is it going to be released? As I said to you, later in 2017. Hold me a gun to my head. 2017 September. That's my call now to you guys. That's my massive prediction. Let's see if that's the case. And big one here as well. Will modding support be available from release? Not straight away. It will be available very shortly after launch, but what would be good is the fact that when mod support comes out, instantly assembly kit access will be available as well, so people will get their teeth stuck into it and no doubt create some awesome campaign maps for the game. And obviously earlier on than we saw it with Warhammer 1, so that's quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that will be like. So yeah, mod support is going to be happening pretty shortly after release. So that sounds excellent stuff. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is where I'm going to leave this video today. I think if you didn't know anything about it beforehand, I've given you a little bit of an idea of what to expect now with the game. I'm going to try and do another video possibly on what's been mentioned on the Steam page and also what has been talked about in the developer session today, EGX. I'm going to have a look at that video now, see if I get more facts about it from there, and I'll come back to you in another video. But yeah, very exciting. I'm looking forward to this. I know, as I said to you at the beginning, it's not historical, but let's take it for what it is. Let's try and enjoy it. If you are a Warhammer fan, it's going to be amazing, I'm sure, for you all. I'm going to love it. It's going to be great covering content for it as well. I'm getting the hype back. My motivation's coming back now, pretty good actually. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it. Hopefully get to go to some events and report back to you on what I find and what happens. And yeah, any more news and revelations that come down the line in the next few months, I'll be sure to be reporting it back to you. And of course guys, let me know your comments down below. Love to hear from you as always. Thank you as always for watching, and until next time, take care and farewell.